So, welcome to the main cut. I'm your host, Jade, and today we are joined by the incredible Morgan Mills, a boundary pushing hairstylist, creative director, and multidisciplinary artist known for merging hair, fashion, and fine art into unforgettable experiences. And, her artistry has transformed the looks for people like Winnie Harlow, Young Thug, SNA, not to mention her work has been in campaigns like Meta and Converse, featured in Vogue and The Cut, and she's been showcased at places like New York Fashion Week. So, with a background in sculpture and passion for storytelling, Morgan doesn't just style, she sculpts, and it's power into every single look. So, today we will be talking to her about, her journey into the industry, how she got to where she is today, and tips for anybody else that's looking to follow in similar footsteps. So, Morgan, thank you and welcome to the show.
Thank you for that amazing introductory. Like that was just like, you know.
Thank you. We like to give people their flowers here.
Thank you so.
So no, we're really excited to have you because we know it's always really busy in, the industry that you're in. Stylists always have 100 things to do and a lot of people to look after. But
Yes.
for those who aren't familiar with your work, can you tell us a bit about, your early days? How did you get into hair? How did you get to where you are now?
Okay, so my early days kind of look like I have five sisters, and I just always loved hair. My mom, one of her best friends, she's like basically like an aunt to me. She had owned a salon, so we would always go there just to like so my mom can get her hair done. Eventually, like we got our hair done. And she just would go up there because it was like her friend shop, so like they would just be chilling, and like that's kind of like where it happened for me. I kind of like fell in love with like the aroma, like the smells, like the
Mm,
spritz, the hot combs, the dryers, like just that smell and that aroma, like the gossip. Like I
mm,
women like come in and they would be like so distraught like about their boyfriends cheating on them or like something
mm,
that they going through in life, and then like just getting their hair done and just like sitting and like talking about it, they would just be transformed. Like they would just like leave out like this new person. And I think
mm,
just like being a child in those environments and just watching like that, the transformations and stuff, I just felt like this is like amazing. Like this is what I want to do, and it just like made me feel like a lot of community. Like
mm.
everybody was just so just looking out for one another. Everybody was just like it just gave like a sense of community. So I think for me, like that's kind of where it started. My sisters were just like my models. Like I would just always be like, "Come here, let me try something. Let me, you know."
Mm.
So that's kind of like where it started. My mom's best friend, she's still like in the business today. Like she still owns salons and stuff. So she, shout out to Larissa. She's somebody that still to this day influences me and
Mm.
was kind of where it started for me.
I love that. And it just goes to show that so much can happen. You can see so much when you're a child. I think
Right.
people underestimate how much you see even as a kid when people go into salons, right? Because it's a whole experience.
It
It's a
is.
day trip.
Yeah.
You're not in there for a couple of hours. You're in there for the best part of a day. You're hearing all the conversations, you're seeing what's happening. You're seeing like adults walk in stressed and walk out happy.
Right.
Um, and just I can imagine being exposed to that so young and over again. It's
Hmm.
no wonder that you were like, oh, I want to be a part of that feeling.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta have parts in this. And then just like
Mm,
Larissa as well, like she was a salon owner. She had like barbers in there. She just
mm,
exuded like boss. You know, like how
ah,
everybody kind of just was like, like just had respect for her. It just
mm,
was like, I want to be like that. I'm gonna be a boss. Like,
yeah.
I gotta be a boss.
We love that. We love those influences that people have on our lives. And I
Yeah.
mean, you mentioned that you did your sister's hair as well. And I
Hmm.
know, like in other interviews, you shared that you started styling Bratz dolls and
Yeah.
your sisters. And so, how did those early memories shape your aesthetic today?
So I was playing with Bratz dolls up until probably like my ninth grade in high school.
Ah,
Just because like I had two younger sisters, one and like three younger sisters. My older sister, she's 4 years older than me, but like,
Mm.
I was still very like a child in high school, like my ninth grade year in high school, and me and my sisters, we used to kind of like we would use like cassette tapes as like beds, and we would go get like washcloths and like use covers. Like we really did the whole thing. Like we would create little houses. We would pick a corner. We'd be like, this is my house, this is my house. We would
Mm.
literally have like garages. Like we really would like build up our little town. And like I always would have a hair salon. Like I always was like, okay,
Mm.
like this the hair salon, this where y'all gonna come. Just from like, what I learned as a kid.
Mm.
So they would literally bring the dolls there, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, we be in the hair salon all day." And I'm like, "Yeah, like you be in the hair salon every day, all day." But I would take like my mom's like the smallest flexi rods or like the smallest like little rollers I could find.
Oh.
And girl, I would literally like roll them dolls' hair with like mousse. And I would put them on the vent, like the vent that was blowing out like heat or AC at the time. I would put them on there to like dry. And I'd be like, and we would be like still playing. They'd be like, girl, you still at your doll still at the hair salon. We'd be like, yeah. Just like drying. And that's kind of like where it started. And then as I I got older and things like that, my mom would do our hair the same because me and my two younger
Mm.
sisters, we are a year apart. So
Right.
my mom would just like give us the same hairstyle. And I got older now, and I was like, I'm older because everybody like, oh my God, they're triplets, and I'm like, no, I'm older. I'm not a triplet. So I would like start to do my own hair, and then my sisters like would beg me like, can you please do our hair? And I would be like, yeah, I'll do your hair. So like I would just try stuff, and then it just became like tradition. Like I would just sit in the living
Mm.
room, and like every Sunday before school, I would be doing like all my sister's hair. We would literally start like 2 p.m.
Mm.
I would just be doing like my sisters and my cousins, and for like, and I would be their hairstyle that they wore like all week for school, and then like next Sunday we do it all over again. So
Oh.
that's just kind of like where it started for me, like just practice. And I just was like trying different things. I would see stuff in like magazines and be like, all right, I'm gonna try this, or like
Mm.
I'm gonna do this, or like we would see like Bratz have like certain styles, and my sister would be like, I want this like how she had this. So I would just like try it, and then it just would be like us bonding and just me like growing in my craft.
Yeah, and I mean it's interesting because again, I think people underestimate how much that time just being with family and doing family's hair is that like that growing period for a lot of stylists. A lot of them come out of that and then at the end of it it's like, oh no, I want to do this for real. I want this to be like my business. It's not just me enjoying doing it for my family. I want this to be my full-time thing.
Yeah, I was obsessed with it for. And my mom used to always be like, "Get out her hair, like stop touching her hair." My mom had friends; they had like weave. I'll be like, I'll go get my brush and just be like brushing. My mom be like, "Get out of their hair," and I'm just like,
But I mean, it paid off. It's paid off. You know,
yeah,
you've grown from doing your family's hair to sweeping and assisting to celebrity hairstyling.
yeah.
So, what was the turning point that really shifted the trajectory of your career?
So I have a younger sister. She is like I would say like an influencer, like
Okay.
and she would get invited to all of these different events like during fashion week. So and a lot of times because she was like an influencer, she wasn't like a huge household name, she would kind of like get invited as like someone's plus one as well.
Right.
So I would just go to fashion week every year. Like I didn't care if I was booked for anything. I would just go just to be like in the mix. Like I'm just like I want to be around cuz like with hair, I've always been like a fashion girly.
Mm.
I've always like been obsessed with fashion, but like hair just was kind of just like the cherry on the top. But I would just go to fashion week anyway. I didn't care if I wasn't invited to parties. I would like sneak in parties. I would just be like in the mix. And one year I was actually like getting booked for things because I was doing like my sister, and she was like this and she's this influencer, and like she was getting noticed by like her hair and things like that. So I was actually this year I actually got booked for a few things. I was I did an artist, Louise Chantel. I did her hair for like a runway show. She's a
Ah,
singer.
okay.
And then like that same few days later, I worked with my friend Brianna. She's like the owner of Matte Brand. I did hair for her Siren drop, which was a long time ago. But I was like,
Okay.
okay, I'm getting booked for some stuff. Like, okay. And then I remember my sister got invited to like Fendi. Like, and I was just like, dang, I wish I could go. Like, I kind of like my heart was like kind of crushed because I was like, my sister called me, she was so excited, and I was excited
Mm,
for her, but I just was like, dang, like I'm out here working, and like I want to be invited to something, like. So I literally was in my Uber, and I had a lot of friends, and I have a lot of friends in the industry, and I
mm,
was like in my Uber because at the time we would like stay with my cousin. She lived in the Bronx, and I was like in my Uber going back to the Bronx. I had like finished work for that day.
mm,
And I was just like, dang, I want to do like I was just thinking about like what I wanted to do with my career, and like I'm like grateful for like the opportunities that I'm getting now, but like I just want to take it to a whole nother level. I just was like,
mm.
just like dreaming. And then I get this phone call, and my friend, he's at the time he was like I want to say Alexander Wang, like an assistant for them.
Right.
And he was just like, yeah, I'm at Wingfest, and I met this girl, and like she needs a hairstylist for tomorrow. Are you available? So I'm like, yeah, I'm available. And I'm like, what is it? Like, what am I doing? And he was just like, well, I don't know, girl. Like, I'm gonna just put y'all on a text. Like, I don't know. So then, like, I'm just like, okay, cool, like, whatever. So I'm on a text, like, when I just get a text, and I'm on a text there with like 20 different people. And I'm just like, what
Oh.
is going on? So it's like production. And everybody just kind of like introducing me, like, oh, hey, this is Morgan. She's gonna be this for. So I'm just like, I still don't know who I'm doing, like what I'm doing. I'm just like, okay, like I'm so grateful, like whatever it is. So then I get another call from a lady, and she was just like, hey, yeah, you're going are you we just put you on the text there. You're sure you're gonna be able to make it, right? 8 a.m. call time. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be able to make it. So
Mm,
I'm like, what am I doing? I just want to be prepared on my end, make sure I have the right products, X, Y, and Z.
mm,
So they were like, oh, it's gonna be Locs. So I'm like, oh, okay. So like I never when you go to fashion week, you think like wigs, hair, curling irons, you don't think like a locks.
yeah.
So I was just like, okay, that's in my head, I'm just like, that's no problem. I'm just gonna have to get up and figure it out before the call time. I'm just like, that's no problem. So I'm just like, okay. So then I'm like, I'm sorry, excuse me, like who am I doing? And then she was like, Young Thug. So I was just like, wow, okay. So I'm just like so excited. This is like my first time ever doing like a male. Before like Louise Chantel, I
Mm,
worked with SZA, and I like was making wigs and constructing wigs and things for her. So I'm like, wow, this is my first like male guy. And like crazy thing about it is like in high school I used to always be like, oh, I'm gonna do all the rappers. Like I'm gonna do all the rappers. I used to literally speak it.
ah,
And so the next day I literally woke up like early, like crack of dawn early, and I was just like, my cousin was just like, oh, it's this beauty supply in Harlem that opened up like 7 a.m. So like you gotta get there. And so I was like, and I was like so bad with like, I'm still bad with New York trains. So I just like, girl, I'm just going Uber everywhere because I just can't. But I went and like I got everything, and I went to call time, and I kind of was like sitting around for a while. I met his manager,
mm,
and he was asleep, and it was a video with him and Little Yachty, so I like met them. And it was just
ah,
cool. It was just really cool. And it just at that moment I just felt like, wow, this is where I want to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. Like I'm in my element. Like I don't feel like I'm not supposed to be here. I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And then it's just like
mhm.
when I actually met Jeffrey, like the energy was just so good. It's kind of just was like I was doing my cousin here, and we kind of just
Okay.
like vibed, and then like he just was like, oh, stick around, like I want you to do different styles on my hair, like I want to change it for after party. So I was like, cool. And then
Okay.
like after that, they left for the after party, and he was just like, yeah, give my manager your number. And then after that, it kind of was like I was flown to Atlanta like the next week, and then just like
Wow.
I've been with Thug for 8 years now.
Okay.
So that was kind of like the turn point in my career because everything just kind of like changed. Like it wasn't like
Mm,
it kind of was just like my position or like what I wanted for myself was just more so solidified. Like it was like, okay, I have this client and I'm booked consistently. And it's not like I'm this girl who just taking my stuff to Fashion Week every week, just trying to get work or like just, just hoping on a wish and a prayer that I would get work. It was like, it's happening. So
Mm.
that was just like the turn point in my career. It just was like, okay, it's go time. Like,
Yeah.
no more trying. Like, you're here. It's here.
It just goes to show that those moments can just happen when they happen, and you have to be
Yeah.
ready for
Yes. You're
them.
ready. Definitely have to be ready. And it's just like you have to be what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like maybe like flexible or like
Mm,
to just, you know, adjust. Like you have to be just able to just like go. And I
yeah.
think like what people don't realize about this lifestyle, it is very much so like it's very like drop of a dime type of thing. So
Yeah.
it's not for everyone.
No, it definitely isn't. And I mean, it's one of those things where I think people believe it's more glamorous than it actually is. The outcomes look glamorous, like the outcomes look amazing, but the
Yes.
actual work itself is not glamorous. Like you said, it's 1 minute you're minding your business, making your way home. The next minute someone's called you and they need you at 6 o'clock in the morning the next day, and you've just got to be ready.
Yes. Exactly.
And that is
Exactly.
what it is. But I mean, you had such an amazing experience with him, and
Hmm.
you've done so much more work with him over the years since, including those like iconic pink locks, and they became like really well known and kind of a signature look. So
Yeah.
what has the creative chemistry been like between the two of you in terms of what he's wanted and what you've given?
So with some clients, you get creative control, and with some you don't.
Mm,
So and it also depends like the projects as well.
yeah.
So you have clients that are like they're so stern in their style and what they like for themselves that they kind of don't want to go outside the box. And then you have clients that like
Mm,
depending on like what they're doing, they're like, oh, let's do something crazy, let's do something different.
yeah.
So the pink locks, what inspired the pink locks is that I actually got a call from one of Jeffrey's managers, and he was like, "We're coming out with this album. Everything is going to be like punk, like pink and punk
Oh,
and whatever case may be." It didn't. Punk is actually the name of the album, but it didn't have a name at the time. So I'm just like,
okay.
okay, cool. So he gave me like this idea, and of course like as a stylist you go and do your research, you like see if it's done before, and then like you just pay attention to like your clients like skin tone and like what colors
Mm,
look good, so you start to like formulating things and trying different things or whatever the case may be. So that's kind of like where I was in the early stages of the process before we actually did it.
mm-hmm,
um, I did like visit him a couple of times, and I'm like, "Oh, I heard you wanted to go pink. Like, what's up?" So he was like,
mm,
"Yeah, like we doing it, we doing it." And I'm like, "Yeah, we doing it. I'm just going like, I'm formulating some things. I just want to make sure it's like the proper tone, things like that." So, of course, I did my research. I haven't seen a rapper or anybody do pink locks. Like maybe like the colorful locks and stuff like that, but I never seen it
yeah.
to that extent. So I'm just like, this is gonna be like iconic. This is gonna be different. Like we never seen like a rapper do it like that. So I just wanted to do it right. So that's
Mm,
how I got down to the drawing board, and I was like doing my different formulations and things like that. And then I came up with a formula that I was like in love with, and then I showed it to his manager, and he liked it. So it
okay.
was like cool. Thug is like very easygoing. He's kind of like he has an idea, and then like he's like, this is what I want, make it happen. So and then like he might have like he's not gonna have like a say like beforehand. Like maybe if you do it and like he's like, I kind of want a little bit more of this. Like he's like
Mm,
that. So very easy to work with, which is a blessing. And
mm,
so when we did the color, the process of us doing the color, it just is like he hates to sit and get his hair done. And then like everybody knows color is kind of like a drawn out thing. And then we're going like super bright. So yeah, that was kind of like the process. It was like me fighting him on getting his hair done, and then like him like in love with the result after the facts.
Okay. I mean,
So
it
that's
sounds like he's a dream client in terms of he gives
yeah,
you the control. He's more like, here's the instruction, do what you got to do, you know,
yes.
and that makes your life as a stylist much easier.
Yeah,
And I
definitely easy.
and I mean, for people, for stylists that are starting out or those that are looking to break into the industry, it's also something for them to be mindful of because you could have somebody that you've dreamed of styling, but they may not be a good fit. There has to be a chemistry fit between the client and the stylist.
Correct. Correct. That is that is key.
Because, yeah, otherwise it can lead to more headache on both sides than.
Yeah, and as a creative too, when you're like, because I know for me, I I have times where like I'm super creative, and then
Mm,
where I have like creativity block because I'm like doing the same thing so much,
yep.
and it's just like it just makes you kind of feel like uninspired,
Yeah.
So it is important to be able to have some type of creativity when you're working, but especially in what we do.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, styling is a creative process, and it's also one where you get to decide, what you bring into your process as well. And I mean, you've voiced a really deep appreciation for Black beauty. And
Mhm.
yeah, so how do you weave that kind of like representation and empowerment into your work and the products that you choose to use?
Okay, so no shade to anybody else, but I just feel like black people are just so black people are the most beautiful people that walk this earth to me. I feel like we are just so diverse and like our skin tones and like our hair and the coils and
Mm,
everything. I just feel like we just are so beautiful.
mm,
And I just want to, with hair, it's like I think of everything as like as a whole. Like when I'm doing hair and stuff like that, I want to talk to the stylist. I want to know like what is he wearing? Like I want to know
mm,
like because it goes all together. I know like
yeah.
my client well enough now to be like, "Oh, if we do this, like this will bring out this feature," or when he
Mm,
colors like it makes his skin pop. Like different things. So to me, I just feel like our culture is very our culture is everywhere around us. I don't care what anybody wants to say about um like we just influence. Black people are just the influence, and
yeah.
I just try to embody that in my work. Like I just want our features and our culture to just be like known and prominent in everything that I do.
Yeah. And I mean, it's understandable, right? We spend the most out of anybody in hair and beauty.
Hmm.
We have like more influence over things like trends, like everything, not everything, but a lot of the beauty industry kind of starts and stops with like Black culture in terms of getting new ideas out there and encouraging people to try things that they otherwise wouldn't have tried.
Exactly.
Um, and so the more we highlight how much of an influence we have, the better.
Right.
And, you're not just a stylist as well, you also run your own brand, your own product range. And so, what inspired you to start your extensions brand? Like, how do you ensure that luxury hair is both accessible but also really high quality?
So I used to own a hair company called Slayer Hair Co. with my sisters.
Mm.
Um, a while ago. I don't even recall what year. It was a while ago, but I had saw the success from my hair company. We were
Wow.
very small. We had a lot of celebrities wearing our stuff, but unfortunately the business didn't do well just because we all had like just differences. Like I was
Hmm.
one who was, this is like my passion, my dream, and like everybody just treated it as like a business, and it was more a business. It was more of a business to me.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lot of creative differences, and I decided to just go ahead and close the doors. But that is one of the influences that influenced me to restart, just because of how successful it was,
Okay.
and just because like doing hair, I have allowed over the years, I don't anymore, but I've allowed like people to bring in hair and things like that. And I would see like a girl show me this style and be like, I want these voluminous curls and
Mm-hmm.
I want all of this look. And the bundles are not of quality. So
Mm.
what people don't understand is that hair makes it's all of the difference. Like
Yeah.
you, like hairstylists, where people want to think that we're like magicians. We do a good job, but like I can't take a product, that a low quality product or low quality hair with like plastic fibers and things like
Mm-hmm.
that and make it into this style that you want. So
Mm.
that was another leading factor as well. Just doing hair consistently behind the chair and just like allowing my clients to bring in like hair from all over. Some girls are getting hair off Amazon now, you know,
Mm.
just all of these things, and it's just not of quality. And it's like ruining our tools. Like your
Mm.
hair is like getting fried in the curling irons, and these tools are so expensive. So that was another thing that was just like, I'm going to stop allowing outside hair. You can only get hair, or you will only be allowed to get quality hair from me. Um,
Mm.
so with that, the vendor that I had spent years of trying to find like different vendors when I had started my hair company beforehand.
Right.
So I still to this day use one of my vendors that I had when I had Slayer. So that's kind of how it kind of started for me. It was just like I went into business and it did really well, but unfortunately it kind of went downhill due to other things. And just seeing like girls spending all this money on bad quality hair that you cannot reuse,
Mm.
hair that is just not of quality, and just not being able to get those looks and styles that they want. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what influenced me to just want to go in and just actually just sell it and
Mm.
provide like a quality type of hair for women.
And I mean, it's not just like you provide them with the right hair for one, and that means that you as a stylist have the tools that you need, like you said, to create the style. But what it
Right.
also does is it gives you another stream of income. It allows you as a stylist to make more money, give your customers a better experience, but then
Mm-hmm.
you kind of own more of that process, right?
Right.
Because also this part of the product production isn't always in our hands. Like as people
Right.
know, people who will use different types of extension hair will know it's not usually in our hands. So it's really nice to see stylists opening that door up and actually creating that extra revenue stream in a way that we know, okay, the money is actually, we're putting more of the money into our community because we're buying the hair
Correct.
directly from the stylist.
Correct. Correct.
You
Mm-hmm.
and I love seeing that because for me, it's just like, oh, I want to see more of the stylists and more of the people that spend so much to also earn more from the black hair industry because there's more than enough money in it for everybody.
Right. Right. And I just look at hairstyling too, like you wouldn't go to a doctor and tell a doctor or bring like this is what I'm using. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? Like I look at it like that, like as a hairstylist, we're supposed to basically like give you the regimen, tell you like what this is what you need. This is
yeah,
what you should be doing versus like you coming in and bringing me something like this is what I'm doing. Like no.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
We don't want that. And I mean, you kind of just touched on the next point that leads to my next question. But you emphasize hair routines and a healthy scalp. Like that's kind of top priority for a stylist because
Yeah.
that's the foundation of having really strong hair. So, what are the kind of like top habits
Hmm.
or products that you think clients really should embrace?
So I would recommend everybody, clients, to get a good hair care stylist. Like, unfortunately, I know we're in a world where these girls are kind of like they're not caring about your natural hair. They're kind
Mm,
of like specialty stylists. I see a lot of that now, like a lot of specialty stylists that are just doing like one thing. And I like that idea as well, but I just feel like we have the stylists that aren't shampooing that, you know,
mm,
I just want us to get back to the basics because it's very important, and you can't just do a beautiful style on a woman or a client and then not care for their hair underneath. Like, it just doesn't,
mm,
it's kind of like moving backwards in a sense. But
mm,
um I just feel like everybody, if you're not going to a stylist, you should definitely have a clarifying shampoo in your regimen. That is like tippy top. Like, tippy top. I swear by, and it's so crazy because I recently dog like dipped and dabbed into Sacred um
Oh.
hairline, and I'm not this is not an ad or anything, but I actually love the regimen, and I feel like it just kind of embodies like the basics and like what we've always been doing
Mm,
for so long. And the system, it just works, like it's
mhm,
just a system that just don't, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It just works. So the clarifying shampoo is always like my holy grail. It's my number one. It's what I go to first.
mhm,
Clarifying shampoo, it basically removes like all the buildup, the products, the dirt, the
mhm,
residue, anything that you may have in your hair. And depending on how like dirty your hair is, you need to clarify at least maybe like 2 to 3 times, get it all out.
mm,
You have to replenish moisture because once you're stripping all of that dirt and stuff out of your hair, you have to go back in with a moisture shampoo. So what
mm.
what I was saying about Sacred is that they basically embody the system that which I have always stuck to. So when it came out, and all the hype around it, I was like looking into it. I was on that line. I'm just like, it's a system that just never. This is the system. This is what it's supposed to be. So clarifying, replenish your hair with moisture, a moisturizing shampoo, and then of course, like a moisturizing conditioner, whatever case may be. And I live by trim and treatments. All of my clients that have been to me for years.
Mhm.
Um, I will recommend getting like a trim and a treatment every 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
A lot of stylists, they try to get you in like every four, um,
Mm,
which is not bad. It's just, like for me, I just feel like I don't think my clients need a trim until like around that 6 week mark, 8 week
right.
mark. And I feel like just sticking to those things like the trim and treatments, it retains length. Like, you can't
Mm,
hair and grow it and grow it and grow it. But if it's the ends are still splitting up, it's kind of like hustling backwards. You're not really doing anything. We're not retaining any length. So you have to like trim and get all that dead stuff off. And the treatments, they vary depending on what you need. Like I would kind of like going to your doctor. Like, you go to your doctor, you don't need the same thing every time. You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? So like, even with hair, like, you could have been like in the sun all summer, so you might need something like
Mhm,
more hydrating.
mhm,
Um, you could have been, like in the pool with chlorine all summer, so like you need more like hydration, or you might need a protein. Um, got
mm,
like protective style, and it may have broken your edges off. So like you just need certain things. Like, and a hairstylist is supposed to go in and give a full analysis and be like, look, this is what we're going to do. This is what I think you may need at this time. And then
yeah.
next time we'll revisit and see what you need then. So that's what I feel
Yeah.
are
I
the
mean, I think like you're 100% right. People need to start trusting their stylist or finding stylists who can make those recommendations and say, look,
mm,
this is what you need. This is the process for your regimen. This is, like the different types of products or the different brands that I recommend that you try out or that you use, because buying products is already expensive enough. And
it
what
is
you don't want to do is feel like you're wasting money on products
right.
that either aren't the right ones, aren't going to work, aren't the right routine,
Mm,
because if we don't have the knowledge, it's kind of just guesswork. And why do
yeah,
you want to guess when you could go and speak to somebody that has the education and the knowledge to point you in the right direction?
Right. And then a lot of these products too, we're not looking at the ingredients. Like a lot of these products
Mm,
hold a lot of alcohol, and then like these girls are putting like edge control and eco styler on top of shampoo that has alcohol, and then you're wondering why your hair is so dry and brittle and it's breaking off.
mm,
So, a lot of the products or some of the products that I personally like and I recommend to like my clients is Sacred, of course. I am in love with Sacred. I've just started using it and I'm in love with it.
mm.
I have always been a Mazzani girl. I used to actually work at a Mazzani hair salon. Um,
Nice.
so I love Mazzani. I swear by it. Mazzani has heat protectant in every one of its products. And I love Amika as well. Amika is another one of those
Yep.
products that have a lot of heat protectant in a lot of their products as well. So those are
Yeah.
like my go-to three. And everything in there, everything works. I just feel like just find go to whichever one of those products lines and then just see
Mhm.
what works. But they're all really good. I feel like they all will work.
Yeah, no, Amik have a really good hydrating like shampoo and conditioner range. They have
Mm-hmm.
like a really, really good one. And they do also have like a really nice heat protectant oil. I can't remember what it's called now, superfruit or something like that. Something like that. And there's a good like I genuinely they converted me to their shampoo and conditioner a few months ago.
I love it. And the crazy thing is like Amika, I found out about it when I was working at a like a more of a Caucasian salon. I actually got
Oh.
trained on Amika products when I was working at a Caucasian salon. And then when I was like, just trying it on like our hair, I'm like, yeah, like it's great with all hair textures. So a line that you can find that works for all hair textures is just like A1.
No, 100%. They are great for that. And I mean, for those who are listening, we will also add links to the brand. So don't worry, you're not going to have to scramble on Google to go and find them. We'll have links in the newsletter so that you can go and check
Right.
them out. But back to the business side of things.
Hmm.
So, your brand, it now includes salon rental suites in the DMV. So what's the vision behind your studio model and how you're supporting other stylists as they're growing?
So, owning a salon has always been my dream. Just like I was telling you, like my story back in the day of like going into
Mm,
the salon and feeling community. Um, with Morgan Mills, the brand salon studios, I realize now that a lot of stylists they want to have their own businesses. Like they
mm,
don't like the back in the day salon experience where you're kind of renting a booth and it's like that
mm,
the way of the world is kind of like swaying away from that. Like these girls are coming out of cosmetology school and they're wanting to be their own bosses like straight away.
mm-hmm.
And so I kind of wanted to mimic that, but still have some type of sense of community. So
Yeah.
I have my layout is salon suites, of course, but I do have a community bowl and a community dryer area. So you do have to come out of your suite at some point and engage. Like you have to come out at
Mm,
some point and shampoo and talk and like have some type of sense of community. Also with my salon suites, I do like a monthly meeting. So like
okay.
I get together with all of my tenants and we have a meeting and we kind of discuss like content, like what's hot right
Okay.
now, what are like the trends. We kind of go over like we set like a monthly like earnings, like what we want to earn that month and kind of like
Oh,
yeah, so we kind of do that and I feel like that brings a sense of community as well.
yeah.
Also in my salon suites, I have like complimentary snacks and beverages for tenants and their
Amazing.
clients. And I feel like that will have like your clients come out and like engage and things like that. So I'm still trying to like keep that community because
Mm,
throughout my career I worked in salons where I've been in a salon suite. I worked in a salon where I've kind of like went back into salon community. And I love both. Like I
yeah.
like the balance of both and I love being able to like bounce ideas off people like, hey girl, what you think about this? Or like, I'm about to formulate this color. What are you thinking? So
Mm,
I want my tenants to feel comfortable enough to be able to come and like hey, can you help me with this? Or what do you think this? Because a lot of, like I said, a lot of these, it's not like how it was back in the day. Like back in the day when you come out of cosmetology school, you got to go assist. You know, like you can't just like jump out there. They're not, a lot
Mm,
of salons aren't just taking people out of cosmetology school and throwing them on their salon floor. You
yeah.
know, that's just not the way of the world, or, you know, that's not how it used to be. So, you know, I assisted for 5 years, and I am just like, I love the fact that I could always go to like a stylist and be like, hey, I'm having an issue with this, or just, you know, so I just want to be
Mm,
that person for these young girls or guys that are like coming out of cosmetology school and going into these suites and kind of don't have guidance, because
yeah.
I feel like that's a misstep. You know, like I feel like
Mm.
I kind of, even though like back in the day I was like, I'm ready to be on the salon floor. I'm ready to style hair. I want to cut hair. I was like that, but then when I look back at it, I was just like, I really loved like my mentors and being able to learn under
Mm,
them. And I'm not afraid to, like, as established as I am now, like I will go back and assist my mentor. I will go back and,
mm,
you know, like, because I just feel like we're in a industry that's always evolving and always, you know, it's, you shouldn't be scared or feel like you're too big to go back and learn something. And
100%.
I want to create that environment for my tenants.
No, I mean, it sounds like you're already doing that. And I
Hmm.
agree with you. I think like the world has changed. People are more
Yeah.
interested in working for themselves. There's no point in fighting against that. But it's
Hmm.
like, what are all the different ways that we can still try and capture that, like you said, that community, that being there for each other, that like that energy of when you walk in, people can still talk to each other and feel safe.
Right.
You know, how do we still create that even though we accept that people have changed and the way that they want to work has changed as well?
Right.
Um, and I mean, well, our time has flown by because we're now on my final question.
Okay.
um, but I mean, you know, you've mentioned in other interviews that, you know, expansions, product growth, new clients, those things are your big goals or have been your big goals. So if you're thinking about today, what big goals are you manifesting? What is next for you?
Mhm. So I'm definitely manifesting just different multiple locations for
Mm,
sure. Definitely products. Products is something that I've kind of just been in the works for a while.
right.
I actually released like a rice water treatment a while ago, maybe like back in like, I want to say like 2020. It was called Miracle Milk.
Okay.
And um it's just something, I'm a very perfectionist type of girly.
Mm,
So it was something that I kind of put out and I just wasn't like super proud of.
okay.
So products has always been something that I'm just trying to, but I want it to be like perfect. I want it to
Mm,
be like products that I know and love. I want it to be something like that. So I don't want to put out something that's just like, I don't really like it, and just to like get money, you know. So I want,
mm,
and I kind of just like am in love with, and I actually use it, you know.
yeah.
So products is something that I'm still in the works with. I've been working with chemists like over the years. I kind of
Okay.
like have been dabbing, like I'll like spend time on it and then like get busy with something else. So products is something that I really want to kind of do for sure, for sure. I've been doing it, just haven't like really released. But products for sure. Of course, different things. I've been wanting to do a collab with Winnie Harlow, with
Mm,
my hair company. It's still in the process of being relaunched. So once that's
okay.
relaunched, I'm manifesting a curly line with my girl Winnie.
Okay.
Um, I'm trying to think what else I'm thinking and manifesting. Film. I've been wanting to do film hair for a while.
Okay.
Um, I'm trying to figure out how that will work with everything that I have going on. Um,
Mm,
and just like manifesting more clients, more tenants, to fill the suites. Um, yeah, those kind of things. And I want to create a foundation that gives back. I've been wanting to do that for a while now. I've been teaming up with people over the years. Like when people do like prom giveaways, I'll team up, or like when people give back to
Mm.
homeless people. But I want to create a Morgan Mills foundation that gives. So that's something that I'm also working on.
Okay, no, I love all of that. And I mean, hopefully, you never know when these things reach the right ears.
Hmm.
There'll be the people that can help bring some of those manifestations into real life. But if you're already speaking them, then you're already putting it out there for it to be worked on
Yes,
and for it to happen.
we're praying for them.
Yes, we pray for all of those like blessings to come through. But I mean, Morgan, thank you so so much for like
Thank
coming
you.
on and for sharing all of your words of wisdom and your story and your experiences. There's so many people that will, they'll hear this and feel inspired, or recognize that it's not just them, that they, the same struggles that you've experienced, they would have experienced. So we just want to say a big thank you to you for everything that you've shared for the past hour.
Thank you so much for having me and picking me. I'm
No,
appreciated and honored.
honestly, like we're always honored to have amazing people on here. And I mean, not just you, but a huge thank you to everybody who is listening. So,
Hmm.
for the people that are listening that have listened all the way through, or caught some of it part way through, or have shared it with a friend, we are very, very grateful to you, because without you, we don't have a community to share all of these incredible stories with. So, a big thank you to everybody that listens. Like, share, send it to somebody else if you feel inspired by this conversation. And
Hmm.
we will see you on the next episode.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys soon.